we stand in the same place, knowing different endings. We slowly delay time. If I look away from you, maybe it won't be real. If someone chooses, everything ends. The fragile balance breaks. No one dares to say it out loud, but we already know. The closer that we get, the more we hesitate. Even in your quiet smile, something feels incomplete. One more step forward, and we can't go back again. The moment someone decides, everything will change. This silence that we hold is what keeps us alive. If we just stay like this, will nothing ever break? Even knowing it's the end, we still can choose. If someone chooses, everything ends. So we keep delaying time. This night before it falls apart might be our last moment. When you smiled, I was crying. Same scene, different seasons.
I never knew you were hurting. Thought you were drifting away.
If I had known you a bit later,
If I had understood your heart,
when you smiled, I cried inside. I thought that meant you were fine. For different reasons, we walked through the same time apart. Your days were shining so brightly, while I stood in the shadows.
I thought you were doing alright. Never knew you were alone.
Afraid your name would break me.
I thought you'd come back in time.
When you smiled, I fell apart. I thought that was everything. Love must have grown like this, deeper while missing each other. finally understand. Love in the end is looking in the same direction. Walking down the same road, you don't look behind. I stop where we once stood, watching moments that remain. Is it you fading away, or am I the one who stays? One forgets, one remembers at different ends of time. In the passing of those moments, we're left misaligned. A name I used to know now feels unfamiliar. You move on so lightly, leaving everything behind. I'm still standing there while you've already gone. One lets go, one holds on, carrying the same past differently. On the warmth that disappeared, a lonely heart remains. When time passes by, will I forget too? Or will you stay? The only thing that's clear, one forgets, one remembers. Maybe I'm the one who stays. What never fades away. Is it love, or is it me? Sitting in the same room, thinking different thoughts. Even when our eyes meet, we're somewhere far apart. Afraid that words might break us, so we just nod in silence. One of us is all alone, even in the same night, holding hands, but somehow it still feels out of reach. Feels out of reach. Your voice I used to know now feels unfamiliar. free. Under the name of love, we became strangers again. Strangers again. Strangers again. Every time I said your name, another name got caught inside my throat. Same eyes, but looking at someone else. The three of us writing one sentence together. Nobody knew who the story was about or even where it started. But one thing was always clear, all three of us were heading to the same place. One story written in three names. You, me, and that someone all on the same page. Someone was loving, someone was waiting. Someone was crying alone inside this story. The day you called that name before mine, I pretended I wasn't even in the room. Your words slipped through the walls between us. I acted like I didn't hear, but I heard everything. When there are three, one is always left standing alone, and today that one was me. I smiled and said I was fine, but I was anything but fine. One story written in three names. You, me, and that someone all on the same page. Someone was loving, someone was waiting. Someone was crying alone inside this story. There's no villain in this story, just three people who care too much, and somehow that was enough to break everything. Of all three names in a story, the one spoken the quietest, the one called the least, was always mine. One story written in three names. You, me, and that someone all on the same page. Someone was loving, someone was waiting. Someone was crying alone inside this story. Even when the story ends, three names remain inside one story. Forever. Cherry blossoms fell the day we walked together. You held his hand while I followed close behind. A name I never said was caught inside my throat. I smiled and nodded like everything was fine. Even when the warm wind blew, only I was cold. Your laughter with him echoed in my ears. We walked the same road but looked in different ways. You looked at him, he looked at spring, I looked at you. I was afraid that saying it would bring everything crashing down, so I swallowed the words before they left my lips. Did you ever know I was the one hurting most while smiling the loudest? Our tangled spring of three, one of us loved, one of us was loved, and I just bloomed and fell alone. the spring felt too long, only for me. I close my eyes and still see the two of you. Under the warm sunlight, we took pictures together. You leaned against his shoulder, laughing bright. I stood behind the lens and pressed the shutter. Keeping your smile safe was the only role I had. Even as the seasons changed, my feelings stayed the same. I wanted to erase them, but they wouldn't go. All this time I held on underneath the name of friend. I still don't know if it was love or just something left behind. I knew somewhere inside that I had to let you go, but every time spring came around, your face was all I saw, and I couldn't move a single step away. Our tangled spring of three, one of us loved, one of us was loved, and I just bloomed and fell all alone between you both, like cherry blossoms without anyone noticing. Someone must have heard their name, someone must have heard their name, but this spring hurt too much, only for me. I cried without a sound and fell asleep. Maybe all three of us were lonely, each pouring love in a different direction. In a spring where no one got what they wanted, we slowly withered one by one. It wasn't a crime to love you, it wasn't wrong for me to want you, it wasn't wrong for him to choose you. It wasn't your fault, you never knew. We were just three different flowers blooming in the same spring. The time we opened, the time we fell, never once aligned. Our tangled spring of three, one of us left, one of us was left behind, and I just stood there alone in that same spot. Long after the spring had gone, I think I understand it now. Love isn't something you line up perfectly, it just flows and passes through, and our spring of three did the same, like cherry blossoms without a sound. Beautifully, it was gone.
Within the same laughter, different hearts were hidden. With calm and steady faces, we walked through that night, pretending not to notice as the distance slowly grew. Who among the three of us was happy in those moments we shared? Unspoken emotions quietly passing through. At the end end of every glance. There was always someone else. Even walking side by side, we were out of sync. If I look back now, would I understand the truth? Who among the three was truly smiling behind those familiar faces? Hidden stories inside gently start to shake. As time keeps moving on, will the answer come? Or will it simply fade into the past? Maybe none of us were happy at all, smiling for different reasons that night. Only now I realize how different our hearts were.
At first it was just the small things that got me. The way he laughed, the sound of his voice, the way he walked. I kept a photo saved but no one else could find it, and stared at it for too long without knowing what it meant. Then one day you appeared right in the middle of his world, and I watched that moment from somewhere far away. I saw an expression on his face I'd never seen before, and I already knew before I wanted to that it was you who put it there. That was the first day I understood what it felt like for your heart to drop. I couldn't tell if it was jealousy or grief, or something I had no name for yet. You were standing in the exact place I had been waiting for, and just like that I became nobody. The one I loved, loved you. The eyes I looked at were always looking your way. The coolest coincidence in the world put all three of us in the same place at the same time. I had to smile, I had to say congratulations, because the person I love deserved to be happy. But nobody asked me why I couldn't breathe. Nobody thought to ask at all. You never knew how long I had been feeling this, and he never knew how deep it had gone. We used to meet as three, and I was always in the middle, smiling on the outside, quietly falling apart within. At some point his messages started coming less, and when they came they were full of your name. I listened to all of it until the end, because I had to learn to hear your name without flinching. Saying I'm fine became second nature, pretending it didn't hurt started to feel too easy. I still don't know how long it will take to fold away everything I felt for him. There's no end in sight. The one I loved, loved you. The words I have been waiting for, you heard them first. The worst timing in the world twisted all the hours the three of us shared. I had to smile, I had to believe it would be okay. I had to keep telling myself it would all because he was someone I truly loved. I can't bring myself to resent you because you never knew a single thing. I don't have a name for what I'm feeling. I don't know who I'm supposed to blame. Maybe I was just a little too late, or maybe this love was never mine to begin with. Love doesn't belong to the one who feels it. It belongs to the one who gets chosen. Learn that watching the two of you in the loneliest way possible. The one I loved, loved you, and I think I can finally say that out loud now. After the longest night I have ever lived through, I managed to take one step forward, wishing you both happiness is half sincere and half still hurting. But today is a little easier than yesterday. The one I loved, loved you. That was our story. That was my spring. That ended before I was ready. We were heading toward the same kind of ending. Even without words, we already knew. The hands we held so tight are slowly growing cold. The one who loves till the end is the one who loses. The heart that stays weighs more as you turn and walk away. I'm left here alone.
Moments we once shared are falling apart. The way you smile now feels unfamiliar.
I know I should let go, but I just can't yet. The one who keeps holding on is the one who loses. Even knowing you're gone this night, that won't fade away, keeps pulling me back. When time passes by, will I be alright? Or will this feeling There's someone between you and me. I can feel it without a word. In your eyes when you smile, there's a warmth that isn't mine. I try to ignore it, but my eyes keep following him. There's someone between you and me. Becomes clearer every day. The closer that we seem, the further we drift away. On the streets we used to walk, there's a silence in the air. Even when we say the same words, we're thinking somewhere else. I wanna hold on to you, but your heart is already gone. There's someone between you and me. Finally has a name now. The more I try to erase it, the more it grows inside. The way you used to look at me, where did that feeling go? Even knowing it's too late, I still can't let you go. There's someone between you and me. Maybe I should accept it now. If love is meant to be, letting someone go. Letting someone go. Where the light falls down, there are three shadows standing in the same place, facing different ways. So close they almost meet, but never overlap. Under three shadows we stand, calling out different names. Even through the same time, our hearts misalign. At the end of your gaze, there's always someone else. Even when you look at me, something feels empty. Even though I know it, I pretend not to see. Three shadows stretch longer through the quiet night. Hearts that can't align drift farther apart. If this light fades away, will we disappear too? Or will these feelings stay behind? Only three shadows remain. In a night we lost each other. Hearts that never reached now flow their separate It started like nothing. We were smiling at first, but little misaligned moments placed us worlds apart. Unspoken emotions slowly filled the space. A story where everyone gets heard. No one walks away smiling, even through the same time. We carry different pain. The closer that we get, the harder words become. Pretending nothing's wrong, we quietly deceive. Behind the words I'm fine, I know what's really there. A story where everyone gets hurt, a fate we couldn't avoid. The moments we held on to only cut us deeper. When this night is over, will we find an end? Or will we simply fade away again? A story where everyone gets hurt. Maybe now we understand, no one really to blame. Yet we're left with over traces I erase. New letters start to form. Every empty space inside holds a different warmth. The more I say I'm over it, the clearer it appears where a name once used to stay. Another memory remains. Feelings I thought had faded slowly bloom again. Even in the same space you were facing somewhere else. A name I couldn't call lingers on my lips. When you looked at him, I looked at you in a direction I can't reach. A heart leaning quietly begins to lose its ground.
When your smile spreads wide, I think I know the reason why.
Even standing close to you feels so far away.
Even if I turn away,
I know it's already too late. When it's over, damn, I stand still, living in the same moment, but looking at different worlds between our lines of sight.
if I fold this feeling away,
Would it all disappear?
or will I keep on wanting?
Unable to let it go. The way you looked at him that day still remains in me. Unable to turn away, I kept looking at where your eyes were resting. I kept watching the end. Even in the same space you were facing somewhere else. A name I couldn't call lingers on my lips. When you looked at him, I looked at you in a direction I can't reach. A heart leaning quietly begins to lose its ground.
When your smile spreads wide, I think I know the reason why.
Even standing close to you feels so far away.
Even if I turn away,
I know it's already too late. When it's over, damn, I stand still, living in the same moment, but looking at different worlds between our lines of sight.
if I fold this feeling away,
Would it all disappear? disappear. Searching every passing face for something that's not there. I know it's over, I know the chapter's done. So why do my feet keep finding their way back to you? Too deep to call it just a habit, too burning to say I've let go. Oh, I swore I'd stop thinking of you, but here we are again. I waited for a heart that wasn't coming back, left the door wide open through every sleepless night. I knew the love had gone cold, I knew it was the end, but I couldn't make myself walk away. Oh, I'm letting go now of the hand I couldn't release. I'm saying goodbye now to every moment I held so close. But God, if anyone could feel how hard this is, nobody knows. I waited for a heart that wasn't coming back, left the door wide open through every sleepless night. I knew the love had gone cold, I knew it was the end, but I couldn't make myself walk away. Now I know you're never coming back. Still